Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is so wonderful to see you all here for our 4th Annual Education Summit on this first day of May, which I suspect by the end of the day will begin to feel like the first day of summer. I promise during the course of the day we're going to let you get a little sunshine. But we're gathered at a moment when our schools, our students, and their teachers are capturing the nation's attention in significant and new ways. Like the wave of teacher activism sweeping across the country. First, it was West Virginia, then Oklahoma, Kentucky, Arizona, and Colorado. Teachers walked off their jobs and descended on state capitals, rallying for better pay and more funding for their schools. And in Parkland, Florida, the mass shooting on Valentine's Day at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High, 17 people were killed and 17 wounded. It was one of the deadliest school shootings this country has ever witnessed, and it was far from the only one this year. And beyond the grief and the loss of life, the trauma, the Parkland shooting seeded a national student movement. More than on that in a moment. In other big school news, the day before the Parkland shooting in a suburb of Birmingham, Alabama, an appellate court prevented a predominantly white and wealthy town from splitting off from the local county school district to form its own school system. Such a secession, the court said, would constitute a breach of the county's still active desegregation order. We'll talk about all of these stories today, some of the people you'll meet along the way, a Maryland school resource officer who helped avert a school shooting, a college president with a vision for a network of urban work colleges, teachers from across the country, and a former venture capitalist who last year visited schools in all 50 states. This promises to be a day filled with rich conversation where our purpose really is to grapple with the most pressing issues facing education and educators, and to leave you, we hope, with new insights, new connections, possibly some new friends, and we hope some new ideas to take back to the important work that all of you do. Before we roll, I do want to take a moment to thank our underwriters for making today possible, and they are the Walton Family Foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We're so grateful to their support. Thank you so much. A very big thank you to our collaborators at the Hechinger Report. They cover innovation and inequality in education, and the Hechinger team helped us think through so much of today's lineup. Thank you to the Hechinger Report. A few practical notes. As always, please silence your cell phones, but don't put them away because we really want you to join the conversation on Twitter. We're at AtlanticLIVE, and the hashtag is AtlanticEDU. And of course, we also want you to be part of the conversation in the room, too, so we'll be taking your questions throughout the morning. And now, to our first session, A Student Speaks Out. After Parkland, thousands of students across the country have twice streamed out of class as part of a national school walkout, and many traveled to Washington to demand action on gun control. And it's so clear that young people are understanding their own power in new ways these days. So it's fitting that we begin with a student, Keaton Connor from Marshall County High School in western Kentucky. A shooting at her school in January killed 2 people and wounded more than a dozen others. Keaton is here with Atlantic contributing editor Allison Stewart for a conversation about all this. Please welcome them both.